Hello there, and as usual, I'm Aaron from Last Stand Gamers, and welcome. I'm in quite a predicament. After coming back from a routine training exercise somewhere over there in the Alpha Quadrant, basically what's happened is somehow my ships became damaged and I've lost all power to the reactor room. So I've crashed and I am now stranded on this planet, well not this planet, this small asteroid, and my jetpack power is dwindling, so I'm going to save that for construction. So a subscriber sent me the challenge the other day, a 200 block build challenge to simulate being in survival mode. So that's exactly what we do. What he decided was that we need somehow of doing this and making it sort of legitimate. So I'm going to set myself to 200 blocks, and with them 200 blocks I've got to build myself an outpost and a hangar, obviously some sort of command room and some sort of hangar, and then what I'm going to do is further allocate a number of blocks for actual construction. So this will simulate being stuck on an asteroid with just a drill and some of the basic tools of construction. Obviously it would take a lot longer, and we're going to see what we can come up with as if you were starting out in a survival world. So I've quickly scouted the area and I've came to the consideration that this is actually the best asteroid we actually fell into. You can see that we've got this really nice tunnel network in here. I'm not going to drop down yet because without gravity on there's not really a way of me getting back up. So we've got tunnel network, loads of caves. It's going to be absolutely beautiful for a small outpost. So once we've got a small outpost up, should be able to re-establish radio communication. What I want to avoid doing is falling off back down there, so we're going to have to use the low G and jump ourselves back up. But I'm going to begin construction and I'll see you shortly. So it's been about 20 minutes of building and I've constructed this basic survival shelter. So we've got it really simple. There's a nice area for a hangar just to keep our aircraft or spaceship out of the actual weather. And in here we have something a little bit interesting. We have the cargo container here, and I'll explain what that's for later. So what basically you can do is a user can come out of his station. Obviously it's not depressurized or anything, or some parts have not been finished as well. But what you can happen is there's a guy outside, say you've locked all your doors and you're like, oh shit, this guy's got a gun, he's going to try to murder me and steal all my loot inside. But he can't get in because the machine gun is not purchasable. So basically you would talk to him, say, hey buddy, do you want to make some sort of deal? You whack the stuff in the cargo container that you want to make the deal with, and then basically what you can do is he'll take the stuff and hopefully go away while you're in your early survival stages. I've also built this in an L shape because an L shaped building is supposed to be one of the hardest to penetrate. So once you have got a machine gun or some sort of weapon, you can start opening up each of these little window blind things so you can actually see what's going on. There you go, so we can actually see a bit around our station. We'll open these up as well. And there we go. So we can actually start seeing what's going on. So this is quite a basic survival shelter. Of course we've got a cargo container for our main bulk of our supplies. We've got the reactor and we have the assembler. So we'll open up this area. And now this is where I think it personally gets a little bit interesting, is we go down inside here and we have the access to the escape routes in the asteroid. So what I'm hoping to do is get this area powered and then get my ships parked in here, or get one ship parked in here and have these little tunnels as escape pods, and then have maybe a decoy sort of ship on the front or something. But I don't know. We'll have to see what I come up with. I'm going to limit the blocks for my ship to 200 once again, just to give you an idea of how little blocks 200 is. I'm just going to select build a small ship and drag out a 200 block radius. I'm just going to show you how little I personally think it is. Like, there we go. We'll call it 210 there, and then we'll delete 10 blocks. No, don't delete that. 10 blocks delete. Right, yeah. So that is 200 blocks. That is barely anything. It was amazing that I managed to get a shelter like this, to be honest. I'm not going to lie. So this is 200 blocks that we're going to have to use to construct a ship to get us out of this place. So put all that back in there, and you're going to have to leave me to it while I try to work out what I can do. I'm never going to be able to build something like that. Now I know that area once below the stealth fighter is more than 200 blocks. Yeah. And I could use this, but then that would spoil the chance of the actual survival challenge. No, I'm not going to use that. I'm going to stick to this limited amount of blocks. So wish me luck. I'm going to continue on building. Right, so I'm back. I didn't really have enough blocks. 200 blocks was so little. I had to actually revamp the design about 3 or 4 times. This is, I think, just exactly 200, because what happened was I started deleting parts so I could actually have gyroscopes, and then I had to delete parts because of engines being in the wrong place and then it not working. And I just tried to get every single component on this ship so it would do as many tasks in one. So we've got cargo storage in the middle, probably don't need two, so I might get rid of one and get an extra gyroscope in. And on the back we have a drilling mechanism, and then on the front we have the famous stacker truck forklift things as the Honey Badger, and then I give it the classic Honey Badger paint job. And just for good measure, 2 miniguns. I'm not going to put any more miniguns on or weapons on this thing, because the main objective of this survival is probably just to get out of here and survive. Something that I'm going to be doing now is recovering the rest of the stealth fighter. It is too much of a valuable asset to lose, so we're going to bring it back to the hangar and try to get some maintenance done on it. So we're going to lift this thing up and we're going to move ourselves over there. So I've given it some little ears, you can see up on the top there, so it's a little bit more Honey Badger-ish. But yeah, this is going to be a little bit hard to control because it's going to be a lot heavier than us. So we need to be able to move it somehow. I'm not sure how we're going to do it. Grappling the wing might not be the best idea, so I think I'm going to come in at the back here and then try to go for it. Let's see if we can grab it here without causing too much damage. There we go. Right, now we just need to bring it back, pull it out of wherever it's got jammed into. Yeah, so we're pulling it out. It's not completely damaged. It looks like it's in pretty good condition actually. Oh no, I think it's pushing us a little bit too hard. I don't know if this is going to actually be salvageable because of the damage to it. No, it looks like it could be salvageable, so what we're going to do is we're going to try to bring it back if I have enough power. I might have to try and use my rear thruster where most of my power is located. So you can see there's the size comparison of how many blocks the stealth fighter must be compared to this guy. So we're going to try to bring it in without damaging it. The wings are intact, see? The most of it is intact, so all we have to do is repair it, and once we've repaired it we should be able to get our beacon back up on it and get it back in working order. So bring it down here. We've got to be careful now. Getting a bit closer, and then I'm just going to try to get it flat on here. There's a gyroscope just flown out of it. We're nearly there. Just a bit of reverse thrust should do it. Just need to get it on the landing pad, see, because basically what I'm trying to do is not use the jetpack as much. So, oh no, that's not good. And I'm gonna call that there. So we need to just let that get in a stationary place before we stop, though, or else it will float off and kill everyone in the hangar. So that's pretty good, well stationary. Alright, so back this off, and then we need to get out of this on the actual landing pad. So we'll have to just slide it in here for the moment. Oh, that's perfect, and then we can assess the damage on the actual stealth fighter itself. So hop on that ourselves out and pop down. So obviously the underneath is destroyed, so we're not going to be dropping any bombs shortly, but from this we should be able to salvage enough blocks to build a ship to actually get out of here. So that's probably going to be a good idea, and we'll have to maybe do a little bit more drilling into the rocks and create ourselves some metal ore. Let's just hop up. Oh no, that's not what we don't want to do. See, now I've had to use the fuel in my jetpack. So yeah, I'm gonna have to see what I can do with this. Right, so I've took probably, I'd say, 3/4 of the parts off to actually repair the stealth fighter. So the stealth fighter is back up to #1 condition. Engines are restored. I took the reactors off that. I've also stole a few bits off the ship itself and from areas around the station to actually get out of here, because I don't want to be stuck out here in space. I need to return to my fleet and in the crew itself, so we need to get in this thing first of all. I've also had time to refuel the fuel in my jetpack, so I'm just going to use that to get in here. And that was basically me creating a small survival scenario, so let's get in and get back to base as soon as we can. Come on, come on, there we go. Right, so this episode's been a little bit more of a roleplay sort of style, and I decided to roleplay building that little structure up, just like you would start in a survival scenario. So here's my challenge to you. My challenge is a 200 block structure that could contain you and maybe a partner in a survival sort of game mode, or You could even try building a ship as well. So the challenge in total, build yourself a 200 block ship and a 200 block structure in preparation for survival. Get some training in now, or else you'll just become another piece of space debris. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next.